for the purposes of Zoom camera, I need something that's going to be really tight so you can see my lines and stuff like that. Girl, it is just an orientation on Zoom for law school. I know, but I want to make a good impression. So, yeah. DeMario on demand. DeMario on demand. DeMario on demand. Subscribe, like, and enjoy the show. DeMario on demand. DeMario on demand. DeMario on demand. Subscribe, like, and enjoy the show. So I know y'all be like, I mean, it's just a Zoom call for orientation. I know, but this is like, if I had been in person, I would have been in a full three-piece suit coming in there and everybody be like, okay, who was that? So I need to be able to convey myself through a virtual Zoom. So I'm trying to get I want to give nasty housewife confessional type of look. You know what I'm saying? Some type of statement piece, but only, above or whatever like that. And y'all don't worry about these wrinkles because I am going to iron this shirt within an inch of my life. Okay, so the best thing to do is try your stuff on because you really want to know how it's going to lay and sit. And let me just say, I'm hot as all get out. However, I almost got like a AC in front of my camera for my setup or whatever. Anyway, I like this. Y'all know since this is Zoom, the good thing about Zoom, I'm only gonna iron the front. It is a tad bit tight, and normally I probably wouldn't wear this. However, I'm gonna have a tie right here, so you probably won't see the tension. But I'm sure y'all like, why does it matter? Just put on a shirt and tie and go ahead on. I understand that, but the energy that you put into something, you will get that same energy out. So everybody will probably like, oh, who is that? You look at him. Okay, anyway. All right, I think this is the shirt. It kind of like accentuates my arms and my chest, everything from, the neck up. I probably wouldn't wear this in real life just because it's probably a little too snug, but for the purposes of Zoom camera, I need something that's going to be really tight so you can see my lines and stuff like that. Girl, it is just an orientation on Zoom for law school. I know, but I want to make a good impression. So, yeah. Alright. Okay, so I'm in here trying to get ready in front of the fan because it is so hot, y'all. And I got on joggers. You can see my joggers. I picked some joggers that were really, 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 really tight, and I put my suspenders on them so that it can hold like my shirt into space, and I won't have like it won't be gapping up and stuff like that. Here we go, the fan. Okay, so now what I'm doing is just like touching up and making sure, y'all, I got like maybe 15 minutes till it's time to begin. And so I'm trying to get ready. It's a lot, but I got this fan going. If that happened on camera, it's a wrap. Honestly, it's a wrap. Like, it'll be so embarrassing. So I'm gonna release some of that tension. Because if that happened on camera, I would just die. It's probably not a big deal, but for somebody who's putting so much effort into it, for something like that to happen, it would be a fashion faux pas. Alright. So now what I'm doing is just looking in the camera, trying to make sure that everything is right. I'm going to bring this one down so they can be, because you have to remember, people are going to be staring at you, and I'm probably be sitting like this. All right. This should go up a little bit. All right. Kind of like at the nipple, I guess. Until the last minute to give the girls what they've been waiting for. You feel me? And when y'all see how everything looks, like I've even matched my background too, so that it can everything looks really good. Alright, and then after I do this, I'm gonna go and take my wave cap off and make sure everything is looking good there. Okay. I'm looking in the mirror and everything is, hold on. Let's set this up. Looking in the opposite. Alright. Alright. So now be right back. All right, y'all. So last night I had my orientation. It was the virtual orientation. And let me just tell y'all, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous now. So, like going through the entire summer, we've had so many Zoom calls. We've had like a admitted students day Zoom call. We've had like our pre-law Zoom calls. We've had like weekly Zoom calls at the beginning of the summer with the vice chancellor. And they pretty much are regurgitating the same information. So I really think like we could have missed orientation if you've done like all of the pre-law stuff. But y'all, let me tell y'all about my outfit. So y'all know, like, I wanted attention. Like, I was like, my whole setup is going to be right. I want to look like really professional and stuff. We had like a group chat with everybody like in the class or whatever. And people just like, oh, look at DeMario. Oh boy, you got that tight shirt on. Oh, you got those suspenders. Which, I have a great sense of humor. So the things that I really made a point to like accentuate and make sure I look, it did what I needed it to do. Like, people were talking, good, bad, or ugly. It didn't matter. But so y'all, last night we were doing the orientation. Then of course, like you have an orientation that's like 80 people on a Zoom call. So some people are kind of like zoned out, zoned in, or whatever like that. Now maybe like 3 days before the orientation, they gave us this packet, and the packet was basically what we would go over. And they said we would have a guest from the Louisiana bar, and we would go over a hypothetical. I really didn't think much about it because we are already doing the last 2 weeks we've been doing a lawyering fundamentals class. So I really didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, okay, this is the packet. It was kind of like forgotten about. But I kind of skimmed through it, and I didn't think anything else about it. Y'all, when the professor got up, this is orientation now. When the professor got up, you can see on his screen, he's in the classroom, and he can see on his big screen, he can see like all of the people that are in the Zoom chat. And it's probably like 8 o'clock at night at this time because I'm doing the evening division and start at 5. So you kind of like winding down from your day. You kind of listening through your orientation. By this time, you kind of toned out or whatever. And this man, y'all, he just starts calling people and referencing the hypothetical that we were supposed to read. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. We were supposed to read that? Y'all told us we was going over this, like, throughout the orientation, which I know it seems crazy because you should always be prepared, but nobody was prepared, y'all. When I say nobody, he just started calling people, even people whose camera wasn't on. He just started calling on them, and they got on like stuttering and stuff like that. So the other professor was like, call on DeMario Thornton. I know he knows. He got that. He looking all nice and got all that stuff. He looks nice. So in my head, I'm like, OMG, can I even recall the facts of this case? Because I just skimmed it because I was just being nosy. Y'all, I'm so glad that I skimmed over it because I was able to get like a blanket statement and at least be the first person that knew something about it. Of course, he said I was missing some facts, but it actually showed that I actually read or at least attempted to read it or whatever like that. Long story short, he had everybody, somebody read it out loud, read the hypothetical out loud. So, of course, me thinking how I think, I've been called on once. I'm good. Let me get on my phone and start texting and try to find out in the chat like, oh, girl, you know, that was a lot. I was like literally shaking. And I could hear him say, you know, underline that, underline that. Y'all, I don't even have the paper pulled up. And all of a sudden he said, Mr. Thornton, all right, now that we have all the facts, tell me the 3 points that I told y'all to underline. Hold on, wait. So I done already said something. I didn't just get my points for earlier, like, huh? Y'all, that's the thing. When a professor calls you, that don't just mean you good for the rest of the day. Like, that was a wake-up call because this was orientation, but all in all, it was good. My outfit was good. I looked nice. My background looked very nice, as you can see. I had my lighting and everything. I wasn't all smoke and mirrors because when he called on me, I at least knew something about the case. But all in all, I felt good. It was orientation, and I have about 3 days until I go and start my first day of law school. All right, see y'all later.